In this episode of Master Harvesters, I'm going to be getting used to my new tree climber from hawk hunting, and I'm super pleased with it. Got up in the tree, got settled in, got myself strapped in, and then started getting used to using a camera arm for the first time before season starts. Alrighty, so I'm now setting up my Warbird climber. I just want to get used to it before I take it out into the woods. Just got it the other day in the mail. We're now teamed up with Hawk, and I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about this tree climber. My last one was really heavy. This one is still very comfortable to use, and it's not near as heavy. So, first off, we gotta set up our prop here. And that is simply done by holding this up, folding down your stand, pulling up your pin, and then knocking this into place. Just like that. Pretty easy, actually. Alright, next. I'll set up close to the road here. I'm not out in the woods. Don't want to spook any deer. Get close to that time where you need to stay out of there. So, and this is really easy to set up compared to my old climber. Just like that, and that is in place. I got myself all set up in the tree climber here. Got myself strapped in, and also my tree climber strapped in. I like to familiarize myself with my equipment before I go back out in the woods on opening day to make sure that I can get everything put together quietly and quickly, and so that way I'm not fumbling around come early morning. And I like to get strapped in immediately when I get myself up in the tree stand, and then I strap in my climber. And one of the nice thing about this tree climber, the Warbird from Hawk, is it comes with a little baggie that holds all the straps and stuff that you need to strap in your tree stand. And I found that really nice, because before I would have it all in my pockets, and that was never a really good situation. But I got my camera arm in. I'm just getting used to setting up. This is the first time I've used a camera arm. With archery season right around the corner, I like to familiarize myself with the anatomy of a deer, so that way I know right where to put my arrow come archery season. We're going to start out with this blue line right along the top. That's a spinal cord. You hit that, pretty much you've got the deer down, but it's always better to go ahead and shoot a dispatch shot, because it may cause the deer to suffer if you just let them bleed out. Moving down into the pink, we have the red streaks, which is actually the organs and the arteries going through your lungs. And the lung is your biggest opportunity to make a good shot. They are pretty expansive. They are pretty much from the heart all the way back to the liver. So if you make a good shot in the front part of the middle of the deer, you pretty much will hit the lungs. You want to be careful that you hug the shoulder a little bit, so that way you don't actually, if the deer's quartering to a little bit, that way you don't end up shooting into the gut and liver, which would cause a much less speedy death. Moving over into the lower section of the lungs, you will see this yellow dot, and that is actually where you really want to aim on a deer. You can see where that heart goes down underneath pretty much the almost the elbow of that deer, and it's really tucked away, and that's the way that it was created. The deer was created that way to keep that vital organ safe, and usually you'll end up hitting the higher part of the heart there, and your best aiming point is right at that yellow dot right above the heart and right in there with the lungs. That way you're hitting all the arteries coming out of the heart and getting a lot of those lungs. Hitting the deer a little bit low and almost in that elbow, if you get enough penetration, you've got a pretty well harvested deer. The one thing you have to be really careful about when you're hugging the shoulder is not shooting high. You shoot high and you're going to hit the shoulder blade, which will stop your arrow, and you want as much penetration as you can. So it's always better to hit a little bit lower down or to aim that way, because once you get out past 30 yards, the deer will most likely duck. So pretty much from the back of the rib cage up to the shoulder is your best opportunity for a quick death for the deer, which is always the primary goal. And depending on the position of the deer, you might get away with being back a little bit more if he's quartering hard away. I don't like quartering 2 shots. Quartering away just a small bit, like 45 degrees, is the best, because you can actually put it right behind the shoulder, through the heart, and out in front of the other shoulder. And I've had some very, very quick tracking jobs with that situation. Next week, we're going to talk about how to manage deer to get the oldest bucks that you can on your property. Thanks for watching. Master Harvesters, remember as you go through the week to thank God for the blessings that He gives us, and also to spend time in His Word. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope we see you next week.